Om Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tamha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye Om Shanta Shanta Shanti Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsharshibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya Sarvopaplavarahitah Prajnanaghanah Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi Om Vedantartha Vibhasakaya Gurave Shantaya Sannyasine Nanavadi Nagendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavat Pada Vidham Bibhrate Tasmai Bhashyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane Om. Yasya Nishvasitam Veda Yo Vedebhyo Khilam Jagat Nirmame Tamaham Vande Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram. The avadhi, the threshold of vidvatta, of the scholarship, after which sannyasa, which gives the qualification for sannyasa as the vidvat sannyasa, is being discussed, for which Bhagavan Shankaracharya was quoted from his work Upadesha Sahasri. Simultaneously, where did Bhagavan Shankaracharya also bring this as the avadhi of vidvatta? To which we have quoted the pramana, the source, as the shruti. And the shruti is Bhidyate Hridaya Granthi Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha Shiyante Chasya Karmani Tasmin Drishte Paravare. This was told, which means Bhidyate Hridaya Granthi. The knot of the heart is opened, cut asunder. In fact, saying cut asunder, Bhidyate Bhev. It can be cut asunder. Because it is a granthi, it would also mean that it is opened up, released. So the knot of the heart is released. Vidyate hridaya granthi. Chidyante sarva samshayaha. All the doubts are eradicated. And the karmas, all the karmas, sarva karmani shiyante, are destroyed. But when does all this So now all this means it is the description of liberation, state of liberation. In the state of liberation, the complex does not remain anymore. In fact, when we are saying complex, the psychology has discussed several complexes, right from the Oedipus complex to Electra complex, through superiority complex and guilty complex, and several complexes. All the complexes are centered on one basic notion, and that is of the individuality. What is this individuality? Because, there can be a complex. I am not married. I am not married. Now it changes. It can be the identity. Therefore, the person is restless. I'm not married. I'm not married. I'm not married. And so he finally gets married. And now there is another identity. I am married. So earlier he was little, what do they call, restless and miserable because he was not married. Now he discovers that, I have got married. Now I do not have the botheration. I'm not carrying the burden of not being married. Then what? Now I just thought that this will finish here. But the responsibility which all these things bring, now he is burdened under that. And therefore, there can be a change of identity. People keep on changing their identities. From Christians, they will become Muslims, from Muslims to Buddhists, from this party to that party, from this opinion to that opinion, from being status of being single to being married, again being single, and several things. Every time the identity is changed, in search that the next identity will be solace, will be freedom. But there is no freedom. That every identity finally comes to become a bondage, because the seed bondage is that of this individuality. I is mistaken, the self is mistaken to be the body mind complex, thus claiming I am the doer, I am the experiencer. Aham karta, aham bhokta, aham parichinnaha, aham jivaha iti. And this is that Hridaya Granthi, Chijjada Granthi. Okay, two things are put together. They are two separate things. One is Satyam, the other one is Mithya. And Tad Satya Mithya Mithuni Kritya, Satya Anritam Mithuni Kritya. They are confused to be one. And therefore now it becomes a complex. So thus this is that Hridaya Granthi. This basic Hridaya Granthi, on which all the other complexes, superiority, inferiority, guilt, and 1,000 other complexes people may discover. We ourselves will discover in ourselves. So over there, all the complexes are resolved, because the very foundation on which all these complexes were, that very foundation is destroyed. Hridaya Granthi bhidyate chidyante sarva samshayaha. Various doubts, because we all know that samshaya bhavana is also not knowledge. Samshaya is also not knowledge. Samshaya can be treated as a prelude to knowledge, but it is not knowledge. We understand this, please. Samshaya can be a prelude to knowledge. Like, again, go back to the classic example to understand this. When that snake is seen, now this person is panicked and he starts sweating, his heart beats faster, so on and so forth. All those signs, lakshanas, bhayakampadi is seen in him. Now, this person is extremely sure that it is a snake. It is a snake. It is very harmful. So this is a snake. So he is now scared. But at that same time, someone whom he trusts and someone who loves him and wishes good for him, let us say his father, mother, or his wife, or someone, hmm, someone comes and says that that someone has to be his apta, has to be his apta. He has to be someone who loves him and really whom he can trust. So this person comes and says, it is not a snake, it is a rope. So by saying so, now this person has another set of knowledge about the same object which he is experiencing as snake. And that knowledge is iyam rajju. This is a rope. This is a rope. But there is no accept the knowledge that this is a rope, though spoken, though had, it doesn't work. Because by looking at the snake, or what do they call rope, you are not going to panic like this. Your mouth is not going to be parched. You're not going to sweat. The heart is not going to beat out of your chest. So these things are not, you don't start running away when you see a rope. You don't. So these things are not going to bhayakampadi, will not take place. But still there is some amount of bhayakampa in him, which means that in spite of knowing that it is a rope, why is he having it? So that means that he has not known it as rope, but he has only accepted that proposition that it could be a rope. So it could be a rope also means it could be even snake. It may be a rope, it may be a snake. So thus that it is there is what do they call, ubhaya paksha is there. There are these two sides to it. Ubhaya kotikam jnanam is called as samshaya. Ubhaya kotikam jnanam is called as samshaya. So this, therefore, it is not really knowledge. This samshaya, now having the samshaya can lead to the next step, that let me find out if it is a rope or it is a snake. Now that gives him a little space to do that, to make an inquiry. Is it a snake? Is it a rope? So samshaya can create a prelude to knowledge, but samshaya is not knowledge. And when the knowledge takes place, samshaya will go away. Now, once he takes that opportunity, switches the light on, and thus now the pramana, the eyes are able to contact the object in adequate light, and the knowledge takes place. Iyam rajju. This is a rajju. This is a rope. The knowledge has taken place. How did the knowledge did not take place? Because the light is there. The knowledge has taken place because the pramana was able to function properly. The eyes now are able to function properly in presence of adequate light. Thus now this is knowledge. And that knowledge means now that somebody comes, oh, this was, earlier you said snake, so it could be a snake. He is now sure. Now there is conformity to it. There is there is a different confidence to it, that this is a rope. It is not a snake. Somebody comes and says, no sir, it can be a snake too. Now this person says, say whatever you want, but it is going to, this cannot be changed. Now using this confidence is something that is based on knowledge. Even some Brahmadeva also comes down to say that it is a snake. This fellow says you can be Brahmadeva. In Brahmaloka, you can call a rope as snake, but over here in Martyaloka, we call it as rope only, and it is a rope. You cannot change that. No matter whosoever comes, whatever may be the authority, knowledge remains as the authority over there. Like that, now chidyante sarva samshayaha. What is our, at present you are confident about? So there is viparita bhavana, that I am a jiva. Then you hear the Shruti, the Upanishad saying Atma is Brahman. Atma is Brahman. Now there is a doubt. Is the self Brahman, or is it really a jiva? Is it just that I am a karta, bhokta, the doer, the experiencer, and now as an experiencer, I will experience Brahman? So you may experience Brahman in that case, but you still would remain an experiencer. But what are we saying? Not that you are going to experience Brahman, but you are not the experiencer. The meaning of I is Brahman. Experiencerhood or experiencership is only in association with the antakaranam and the indriyas. Presently, for example, just let us take this, that when one claims that I am experiencing Ruparanga, I am experiencing colors and forms. Let me assume that you are looking at the screen in computer, phone, whatever. So some Swamiji's face is seen, some color of the clothes are seen, so on and so forth. So some colors and forms are cognized, are experienced. So the claim is that I am an experiencer of colors and forms. Now let us say if one did not have the equipment of the eyes, would you still become the experiencer of colors and forms? So if this equipment, if these tools are not there, then on what basis would one claim the experiencership? And the tools are the Jnanendriyas and Antakaranam. If both of these are not there, so experiencership is conditional, but presence of the self is unconditional. I am, whether there is experiencership or no experiencership, I am. Similarly, I am the doer. In association with the karmendriyas and antakaranam, I become the doer. I am the doer. If these karmendriyas, the condition is not there, so that what is conditional is not nature. It is only conditional. Let us say that my window panes, one pane is red, the window glass is red in color, that pane, another one is blue in color. So the sunlight filtering through this now is going to appear, the light is red, the light is blue, the light is green, yellow, so on and so forth. The light is not green, blue, yellow, or blue. It is because of this condition that is there in between. It appears to be red, blue, green, so on and so forth. Remove this condition. So let us say if I open the windows, now is the light, the same light is falling on the floor, but is that light red or blue? No. Why did it appear red and blue? Because of the presence of the condition. So that something which appears to because of a condition, something which is seen, experienced, known because of a condition, That what is conditional is only an appearance, is only an appearance. So also now with the case that I am the experiencer, I am the doer, this idea, this experience is a conditional experience. So it is because of a condition, upadhi kritam. It is because of the upadhi condition. That's now chidyante sarva samshayaha. So to say that whether Atma, the self, is the doer and the experiencer, or this Atma is Brahman, now there is a doubt. Now this, when there is this doubt, this is called as Brahma Jityasa. Is Atma Brahman or not? What is Brahman? So now this becomes the nature of Jidnyasa. Athato Brahma Jidnyasa. This has started. So Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha, Samshaya of all the kinds are eradicated. Thus, the person who knows that it is a rope, now you cannot tell him any other vikalpa. Raise as many vikalpas as you have to raise, because because the projections of the ignorance could be several. So let us assume that there are 5 people or 4 people in a room, and in the same room where the rope is lying in insufficient light. Okay, so now all of them are going to misunderstand. So the first one says that it is a snake. The second one says it is a garland. The third one says no, 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 no. It looks like a small stream of water, just water, like that. Then the third one says no, it is some sort of a crooked stick lying over there. The fifth fellow says, no, it is a crack in the ground. Now you see all the 5 people have got different understanding about that. And all of them say, no, no, I am correct, I am correct. Then all of them say, let us say that all of us are correct. It is at the same time the bhuchidram, it is the crack in the ground, it is a garland, it is what do they call, stream of water, it is a snake. So all of them with their vikalpas now may start making philosophies. Now, the one who knows this is a rope, for him, all these 5 people may try and convince him. For him, the doubt that it could be a snake, it could be a garland, it could be a crooked stick. None of these doubts ever shake him or even touch him. For him, this is all nonsense. This is a rope. This is a rope. So he who has known it through the pramanas, now the doubts cannot take over. As long as the doubt has a chance, as long as there is some what do they call, space for the doubt to enter avakash, is there for the doubt to present itself, till then the knowledge has not. Once the knowledge takes, tasmin drishte paravare sarve samshayaha sarve samshayaha vinashyanti. Vidyate hridaya granthihi chidyante sarva samshayaha. All the samshayas are gone. So this is what tasmin drishte paravare, when that paravara is seen. Now we have understood to certain extent the meaning of all the shloka. Now this means the knowledge has taken place. This means the knowledge has taken place, and as a result of the knowledge, what has happened? Shiyante sarva karmani. That's why no longer any future birth. Birth means pain. Sharira grahanam means dukkham. Sharira grahanam means dukkham. Those who had done this little book, Laghu Vasudeva Mananam, he has shown it over there in 7 steps. So now, no more dukkham. That means liberation. That means liberation. So the knowledge leads to liberation. That is what is finally said. Now, knowledge, and this is the avadhi. This is the threshold of knowledge. So thus we have the avadhi of knowledge, vidvatta, after which one can take to sannyas. So obviously this person who is now going to take to sannyasa, dandadharanam, etc., is what he was earlier, perhaps a grihastha, a householder, but because of his dedication, now the knowledge has already taken place for him, even as his status, even as he was already executing his duties as a grihastha, vanaprastha, or a brahmachari. But now he takes to sannyasa. When? After the knowledge. And therefore, such sannyasa will be vidvat sannyasa. I'm going to take you into a little interesting discussion on this same shloka. Okay. So it comes through the Tika from Achyutraya Modak. Okay. What the word that is used, tasmin drishte, in seeing what? Seeing means knowing. Seeing here means knowing. Not that, oh, this person now is able to behold God and some. Let us get out of that little romanticism, spiritual romanticism. Let us come to the Upanishad. Tasmin drishte. Drishte means in knowing. Tasmin jnate. Okay. So the Sati Saptami is used in knowing, in seeing. That in knowing means because of. Okay, like that. Paramapi hiranyagarbhadikam padam. Now, the ultimate result, the highest result, consequence of karma and upasana is attainment of hiranyagarbha padam. Okay, what is the result, ultimate result of karma and upasana? Is attainment of hiranyagarbha. Even this, what is the ultimate, the highest delivery of karma upasana also becomes lower. That what is called as the highest by the karmatas and by the upasakas also becomes smaller in status. So, hiranyagarbhadikam padam paramapi. Kesham param? Upasakanam karminam param. Karma upasakanam yat param. Tad hiranyagarbham iti padam. What happens? Avaram. That becomes avaram, that becomes lesser, lower. When you say lower, to what? Yasma, to that. Asau paravaraha. And that is called as paravara. That is called as paravara. Tasmin drishte paravare. So in knowing that consciousness, so even in knowing consciousness as Hiranyagarbham is not sufficient. In knowing the consciousness as pure consciousness, in which this whole world of manifest, unmanifest, subtle manifest, gross manifest, everything is just an appearance. And what is the true nature is the reality of everything is this pure consciousness that is what I am. In knowing that paravara, now it is said. Then what happens? Hridaya Granthi means the knot of the heart. Okay. Now look at the little explanation provided by Vidyaranya Swami himself about this. Paramapi Hiranyagarbhadikam. Hiranyagarbhadikam. He should have had said Hiranyagarbham. So Adikam. So there is one more, etc. So there seems to be something more also to be added to it. So what should be understood by that Adipada, by that etc. is Virat. Hiranyagarbha and Virat, Adi. That Virat should be included. Then further, just as we have location for every faculty to function, and what do they call niyata location, like the eyes or the chakshurindriya, this is better to say chakshurindriya, the visual faculty. The chakshurindriya has its own golakas, the location. These golakas, these are the places from where these faculties will function. So they did. So the auditory faculty will function from these places. So Antakaranam also has its own. Antakaranam means the mind with all its functions, okay? All the four functions. Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Hankara, all that. So that Antakaranam also has a location, and that location is the heart, Hridaya Pundarikam, the lotus of the heart. Why lotus of the heart? Because the heart, if it is open, you will see that it is like a lotus bud turned upside down. Not like how we show it like that, love sign. People do it these days. But it is like the Pundarikam. It is like if this is the lotus bud, and if it turns downward, facing downward, it will be like that. So like that, Hridaya Pundarikam. So this buddhi or the antakaranam, more precisely the buddhi, is where? In the hridaya. It is in the hridaya. Hridaya pundarikasthatvat. Hridaya. But why then you should clearly say buddhi? Why are you even indicating its location? Heart. So we say there is a method of saying something. There is a method, and that is the way we speak, the language, the way language is used. How do we use the language? Sometimes we say things directly, and sometimes the language that is used is lakshana. Okay. For example, when we say, hey, what you said does not enter into my head. What enter into your head? A bullet can enter into your head. When you are saying something is not entering into your head, what do you mean? that some hole is drilled and from there the thing has to be inserted inside, that it is to be. So when you say it is not entering, means what is meant by you is, I am not able to understand you. I am not able to understand. It is not entering into the head, means the hair, some, you're drilling a hole into the skull and now there, from there something will be sent inside. No, entering into the head is just this much. I'm not able to understand you. Okay, so like that we use the language. So this is called as Lakshana. Even in Tattvamasi Mahavakyam, there is Lakshana. So we have this is called as Lakshana. Understand this. And whenever we have to use Lakshana, there is a rule that Lakshana, it is not Lakshana. Sorry, it is not Lakshana, it is Lakshana, Akaranta Strilinga. That Lakshana, what has happened? Should be Shakya Sambandha. When we do Tattvamasi Mahavakyam, etc., little Vichara, this, we will do this in detail, but you can write it down if you are interested. What is Lakshana? Shakya Sambandha Lakshana. If you notice, when a word is spoken, I'm not saying when a sound is made, even the fan is also making a sound, but it is not treated as a word. Okay, it is not treated as any padam. It is sound because it is detected by the auditory faculty. It is Shravanendriya Grahyam, but it is Shabdam, but it is not any padam. So in order for sound to become word, which means now it is something that is cognizable. Okay, so it generates some knowledge more than just the knowledge of the sound. When I say cat, obviously your ears are detecting the sound at, okay, it cat is detected, but along with that, one more thing happens, and that is, it not only generates this knowledge of the sound, that sound generates one more knowledge. It generates the knowledge of the sound, generates one more knowledge, and it conveys an animal. Okay, cat. You see, this is how it is. It generates. So, and the word cat, therefore, you are going to say, has the power to indicate a particular animal. When said cat, it will show you that it will immediately lit up for you an animal, that particular animal. And this is true with all the words. So all the words will have this power. So there is a Shakti. Okay. Between the word and the object, there is this sambandha. There is this sambandha. There is a connect. There is this connection. What is the connection? That the word cat will show you the object cat. I say cat and you understand elephant. That does not happen. When I say cat, you understand cat. This is the power of the word to show you what is meant by the speaker. So the words by themselves have a power, Shakti. And therefore, the word is called as Shakta. The word is called as Shakta. And the object indicated by the word is called as Shakyam. Shakyam. Shakyaha. It is okay. Shakyaha. So between the Shakta and Shakya, the connection is that of Shakti. The Shakti operates between these 2 points. Okay. And therefore, now there is this is called as, this is how the words operate. So how do they operate? With some Shakti. It operates with Shakti. There's nothing mystical, mysterious about this. This is common. This is fine. Shakti. Now, it is directly meant. So it shows you. But when I say, or somebody says, this fellow is talking to his girlfriend and he says that you are a sunflower. And when he says you are a sunflower, your father is like, then is that girl's father some gardener or what? No. When he says sunflower, he does not mean a flower. Actually, what he meant was that when I look at your face, I feel delighted. I feel delighted. You can say several things. You are my rainbow, you are my sunflower, just to say that you are delighted. You are my moon, you are my star, that you brighten me up. You lift my mood. That is what it means. No, he said sunflower, but what he meant was you delight me. He said sunflower, but what he meant, so the word sunflower, instead of meaning a particular kind of flower, the meaning that it conveyed was of something that is delightful. How did this happen? The word sunflower. So now that word sunflower is working as what? As it is working with lakshana, not with shakti. It is working with lakshana and not with shakti. So this is how the lakshana is used. Now, why are we bringing this? So that to understand Hridaya Granthi. The word Hridaya Granthi has Hridaya, and that Hridaya is actually a part of the body, physical body. But whereas what you mean by word Hridaya is Antakaranam. Where is the Antakaranam? The location for, though it covers the entire body, but the location is like the government of India operates throughout all from the Himalayas to the Kanyakumari. Everywhere government of India's power is there, but the location is Delhi. Like that, though it covers the entire body from the crown of the head to the toe, the tip of the toe, location is Hridayam. There the Antakaranam is. So instead of saying Antakaranam, the Shruti has used the word Hridayam. So the Hridaya word is over here operating not with Shakti. It is operating as with Lakshana, not with Shakti Sambandha, but with Lakshana. Okay, over here. And he gives a nice example. Ha, Lakshanaya Sthandile Juhoti Devadattaha Ityadiva. Now, there is this fellow called Devadattaha Sthandile Juhoti. Now there is um, some Vedic fire ritual going on. Yajna is going on, for which one Sthandila, one platform, earthen platform is created. On that earthen platform is the Yajna Kunda, is the fire pit. The sacred fire pit is there. Square, etc., everything, and then a little deep, and all those things are there. Where is the fire pit? On the Sthandila. And so now Devadatta sits over there. His name is Devadatta fellow. That fellow sits, the Devadatta, Yajnatta, Somadatta, these are used like Raju and all that. So this Devadatta sits and Juhoti, he offers the oblation in the fire. But instead of saying he offers the oblation in the fire, it is said Devadatta is making the offerings on that platform. On that platform, anywhere he is offering. But when it is said on the platform, which means in the fire, Sthandile Juhoti does not mean he is offering the oblation on the platform anywhere in the corner, etc., but in the fire. So Sthandile Juhoti itivat ityadav tatratya agnigrahanavat. Over there, what is understood by word Sthandila? Agni is understood. Like that, Hridaya Shabdena Buddhi Grahanam. Oh, so now what did you do? You gave up the meaning of Sthandila as the earthen platform, but you have taken the meaning, what? Agni, the fire. Sthandile Juhoti. Like that over here, when we are saying Hridaya, what is understood? Buddhi. Why Buddhi? Because through the Lakshana, it goes into the Buddhi. Through the Lakshana, where does it go? And therefore, Hridaya Granthi means a Granthi, a knot, a complex of understanding. Complicated understanding means some misunderstanding. Complicated understanding means some sort of misunderstanding. And therefore, this misunderstanding is what is called as Hridaya Granthi. So now you see, in understanding this, all that, what do they call, the whole aura of mysticism is just that fog is removed. Buddhi grahanam iti bhavaha. Then somebody comes and says, I'm just taking you so that it is nice. So somebody comes and says, but Lakshana Vritti is always Jaganya Vritti. It is secondary. The main Vritti, the Mukhya Vritti, is Shakti Vritti. The Shakti, by the word by Shakti Vritti, it should be the word Hridaya should be only Hridaya. So now he says, okay, if you are going to say, you have this reason to reject the idea that it is Buddhi, it is actually the complex of the mind. Now you are saying that there is some complication in the heart, maybe surgically removed. So, no, sir, it means Buddhi only. Why? Because even through Shakti Vritti, we can prove the word Hridaya means Antakaranam. Where do you come across this? Iti Koshar. So, Koshar means Amar Kosh. From there, from our thesaurus, this is the old, Niruktam, etc., the oldest thesaurus. The Vedic thesauruses, even if We do not assign any date to Veda. But if there are modern historians who are hell-bent on giving it a date, then everybody is forced to say that it is seen as the earliest form of the literature. And that though it is the earliest form of the literature, it is not a primitive literature. In fact, it is talking even about the misery of human life, which is applicable even today. And it will be applicable till the end of humanity, the final dissolution of the world. Anyways, so over there, what is said in that this Amarakosha is not the Niruktam, but it is related to the Vyakaranam. So over here, in that Kosha, it is said, Chittam tu Cheto Hridayam Swantam Rinmanasam Manaha. Now there are various synonyms given to the Antakarna, to the mind. And so, what are the words? Chittam, Chetaha, Hridayam, Swantam, Rin, Manasam, Manaha. The various in which there is Hridayam and Hrid. There are two words. Hridayam is also meant to say what? Mind. And therefore, even through Shakti Vritti, we will say it means mind. Iti koshat Shakti, Shakti revastu tatra kim kshatam. And therefore, whatever it finally, what do we understand by the word Hridaya Granthi? By the word Hridaya Granthi, we finally understand it means misunderstanding. What is the problem? It is the, therefore, what is the problem? It is the problem of misunderstanding. And for misunderstanding to take place, for the misapprehension to take place, Puja Gurudev will say, non-apprehension is required, ignorance is required. So this ignorance also is called as Hridaya Granthi. Okay, there. Then he says, Hridaya Granthi. Then there is a word, Sakshinaha Tadatmya Dhyasaha. That, how is this Hridaya Granthi? It is in form of identifying this witnessing consciousness as body, as mind, as the organs. When we say, I am able to hear, I am able to see, that means the identification, you say the I is the eyes. The meaning of I am able to hear means I is the auditory faculty. But at the same time, we will also go to the optician and say, sir, my eyes are not able to focus properly on things close or at distance. My eyes are able to. I am not able to also, you will say. My eyes are not able to also, you will say. So there is two types. So there is this eye is understood as this organs. The eye is understood as the body, mind, complex, pranas, etc. Everything. So the self, the consciousness is identified with all these things. And this is adhyasa. Adhyasa is superimposition. Tadatmya adhyasa. So now, sakshinaha tadatmya adhyasa. What is Hridaya Granthi? What is Hridaya Granthi? Sakshinaha. We are now understanding. We are now going into what? Further analysis. We are going into an analysis of what is Hridaya Granthi. Okay, what is Hridaya Granthi? Actually, this should go into the, when you are understanding the original shloka, all that we need to understand from this particular shloka, from this verse, is this is the avadhi of Vidvatta. But I am just taking you there because it is very interesting the way we understand, and not just because of interest, but this is how it should be even understood. Thrash it out. Hridaya Granthi. What is that? Sakshinaha Tadatmya Adhyasaha. Sakshinaha is Shashti Ekvachan. Sa of the Sakshi Tadatmya Adhyasaha. Identification which is superimposed. So superimposed identification of the consciousness. What is it? Superimposed identification of the consciousness of this Sakshi. Iti. How many words are there now which need a little more focused analysis? Sakshi, the witness. Then Tadatmya and Adhyasa. Of the Sakshi, what is there? Superimposed identification. Sakshinaha, superimposed identification. Identification of the superimposed identification of Sakshi. Now, the word Sakshi, come. Sakshat drashtari samjnayam iti paniniya uktehe avyavadhanena prakashakasya chiddhator ityartha. The word Sakshi means the seer, the one who sees. Now, seeing means what? Seeing means illumination. Knowing means illumination. Seeing is not only the function of, in English language, it will mean that it is the function of the eyes. But even in English language, you are explaining something, and the opposite person says, "Oh, I see the point." No, I see the point. Is he seeing the point with some eyes? When you are saying, "I see the point," what you mean is, I understand, I see, I know. So seeing is equated with knowing. Okay. So hearing is also knowing. So that's why these are all jnanendriyas, na? And therefore, what? And in seeing what has happened, in knowing what has happened, the object is illumined. Okay. Till now, till the point that you did not know it, it remained in the darkness of ignorance. The object was not known, which means that it remained in the darkness of ignorance. In knowing, now it has come into light for you. It is illumined. I know, I see, illumined. Now, this is, so what is Sakshat? Sakshat Drashtari Samshnayam. So this, he uses the Paniniya Ukti. And it means avyavadhanena prakashakasya. So now, what is it that is self-illuminous? And not only self-illuminous, but in whose illumination everything is lit up. And that goes into the self, the witness, this consciousness. Okay, and therefore avyavadhanena prakashakasya chiddhator ityartha. That word sakshi means this chiddhatu. Then what is tadatmyam? What is tadatmyam? Today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday, so we have one more day. So let us see these two words, tadatmyam and adhyasaha. So what have we understood? Hridaya Granthi, Hridaya Granthi, Bhidyate Hridaya Granthi is unraveled, untied, opened up. The knot of the heart is open, is released, in which of the heart, what is the heart? Then finally we have come to understand it means buddhi. Then in the buddhi, what can be the knot? Only a complicated understanding something which is complicated. Complicated means it is misunderstood. And therefore it is Hridaya Granthi is misunderstanding. But misunderstanding of what? Misunderstanding of this self with that what is not self. It means there is a superimposed identification. The self is identified as the non-self. The non-self is understood, identified as the self. This complication is there, and this complication is Hridaya Granthi. Okay, so now we are going to see that when we meet tomorrow again, as what is tadatmyam a little bit, and adhyasa just chanchugrahi. Chanchugrahi means like how the sparrows drink water, they just put the tip of the beak in the water and they take. So also when they take bath, they will dip the beak in the water, take a little bit, and then clean their feathers. And that is how they take bath. So chanchugrahi, like that only our pravesha will be there with these words tadatmya and adhyasa. Let us see that tomorrow. But this is the avadhi of Vitvatta. Okay, we will see more when we meet again. Tomorrow, just follow that. It did not occur to us that there will be a problem because reception at different ends will be at different times. So not everybody will be able to hear at the same time. And even coming back also will have different timings. And that is why it was not synchronized, Dakshinamurti Stotram. Please follow it as it has been suggested by keeping the mics on mute. Learn the pronunciation and the tune, and this is Dakshinamurti Stotram is extremely important. Please do that. All right, let us do the Shanti part. Om Yasya Nishvasitam Veda Yo Vedebhyo Khilam Jagat Nirmame Tamaham Vande Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्र भाष्य कृतौ वंदे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्ति भेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्त देहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Thank you all.